That story of Selma has been in my consciousness since before I was born. It's part of my DNA. I see specific moments in the film that sound just like or feel just like stories I heard listening to my grandparents talk about the movement. It's my story. I'm an American who understands American history, and I understand that it's complicated and it's layered, and that in order for us to be better as Americans, however we value that, we've had to have liberation struggles. We have had to have struggle. And so I see my existence, the essence of my existence here in this country, in this space, came from that moment. And so I see myself in that. When I see folks walk across the screen in some of those moments where we were shooting, I saw my aunt. There's a description in the film about folks gathering up at somebody's house and the excitement they felt, even though they were burdened by the struggle, entering to somebody's house who fed them a good meal. Like, that's me. You know what I mean? I know that feeling, not necessarily the intensity of that struggle, but the struggle to survive as a Black person in this country. And when you're outside of the house, it's a struggle just to leave the house, and not fear for your life. And so Ava was a master at crafting that in the writing. With Selma, it was the easiest film to make because it makes sense. It's a very personal story for both of us, but it was the hardest film to make because you're making that film about your story. I didn't think anybody was going to see that film and think about it for anything else other than what it was. I just assumed that we would not receive the respect of our colleagues. We just rested in the fact that we got the movie done, and that was what we celebrated, and that our elders respected the fact that we made the film. The people we care about, love about, respected the film. And the fact it got nominated for Academy Award, however you value that, if you respect it, it means a lot to you. If you don't respect it, it doesn't mean anything to you. I respect both ways. Mm-hmm. But for me, the resonance of that moment for me is that Ava was able to make another film. See, that's what's important, is that Ava was able to make another film. She secured an opportunity for her to stay a working director, which is an issue for Black women of color, in particular, women directors, period. But she did it in such an undeniably artistic way. Mm-hmm. Nobody could say that she's not an artist now. Nobody could say that she's not an auteur. At that point, she was the equal to P.T. Anderson. She was the equal to all of the great, the James Gray. She's in that conversation now. You know what I'm saying? She's in a conversation with the Kelly Reinhardts and the Patty Jenkins now. Like, she's part of the conversation. She gets to make another film because she's tried and she's true and she's done it multiple times and showing you that she's a real voice and she's a real force and that you can't deny her an opportunity. I think it's more important for her to continue to make films so we can keep experiencing that euphoria of watching her movies. That for me is the cultural shift. That's a Black woman in Hollywood who got to make another film, and that rarely happens.